You know, a great event is coming up at the church in Peaster. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a tremendous event. They have it every Christmas. It's called, Jay Allen, get me the cue card, Western Swing Christmas. And boy, it's just an absolutely tremendous event. And it goes to a great cause for the Meals on Wheels, Parker County. And 100% of the funds collected will go to the Meals on Wheels. And they have just a showcase of tremendous musicians on this show. And I have one of those tremendous musicians on the phone with me right now as we join my good buddy, Mr. Johnny Cox. Johnny, how are you?
I'm great, Joe. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you on the air. And you know, you're on my Mount Rushmore of steel players. You know that.
Well, I sure do appreciate that, Joe. It's good to talk to you, and we are so excited about our show this year.
Boy, that is a really popular thing, folks. And if you haven't been, you need to go. There are two shows, so people will have people will have a kind of a array of times they can go. There's a show at 11, is that right? 11 and 3?
I believe so, 11 a.m., yes.
Yeah, 11 a.m. and 3. I'm looking at my notes, and Jay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
it's 11 and 3.
11 and 3, yeah. And it's a great time. This will be our third year to do it. And it is so much fun. We put a Western swing spin on some of your favorite old Christmas records.
Well, it's I know it goes for a great cause, and Meals on Wheels there in Parker County, and you know, a lot of those folks, bless their hearts. I mean, the only people they get to see very often are the people that bring the meals.
That's right. That's right.
And God bless them. I want you to turn out for this, folks. That's on December the 19th at the church in Peaster.
That's correct.
And it's 11 a.m. and then another show at 3 p.m. And listen to this lineup of great entertainers, folks. Of course, Mr. Johnny Cox on steel, Tommy Nash on guitar, Del Morris Jr. on fiddle, Floyd Domino on piano, Mark Abbott on bass, and Josh Rogers on drums. This is going to be a tremendous, tremendous show, and that is quite a lineup of players.
That is, and there are several singers going to be there, and if I start naming names, I'll forget somebody, and then they'll get mad at me. But the name of our band, we do have an official name.
All right.
We're called the Yuletide Troubadours.
There you go. That's great.
That's right.
That's great.
And we have a CD. The first year that we did this thing, a friend of Josh's come and recorded it, and we were so pleased with it that we put out a CD, a live CD of the first year's event, and it's called Hark, the Herald Angels Swing.
Yeah, right, cool, cool.
And it's very good. Pretty much the same lineup of players. Chris Brewer was involved in that and played piano on that, and Randy Elmore played fiddle on that, and it's a great CD, and it's a worthwhile cause. Every year we do it for a different charity, and we just want to do something to help out a charity there in Parker County. Also give folks another way to celebrate the birth of our Savior Jesus.
Absolutely.
And that's really what it's all about. And we just put a good old Western swing spin on Christmas, and it's a fun event, and I'm looking forward to it.
I know it's going to be great. Now, folks, you can find out about this on your computer by going to westernswingchristmas.com, or you can call them at 817-596-8805, and that's Sunday, December the 19th at the church in Peaster, 11 a.m. show, and then another show at 3 p.m. So make sure you go out with generosity in your hearts for that. And, Johnny, on another note, you're just back off of a big performance with Mel Tillis, who was on our show last Sunday.
Yeah, I've been working with Mel. His steel player, Terry Bethel, unfortunately had a car accident on the way home from the State Guitar Convention in St. Louis and fractured a vertebrae. And so Mel called and asked me if I would come fill in while Terry healed up, and that was a great honor to do that. I had worked with Mel back in the 80s and always have loved him and the band and the music, and got to do some really fun things while I was out with Mel. Actually was a part of the reopening of the Grand Ole Opry House. We played that show, and
wow,
played for a week in Laughlin, Nevada. Did a concert with Ray Price, and then Mel is currently doing a stint in Branson, and so I did the first 2 weeks of his shows in Branson, and then Terry was able to come back to work, and we're awfully glad he healed up and got to come back to work. You
bet. He's a good one, and I'll tell you what, Johnny, appreciate you being on the show, and by golly, I know that's going to be a great show at the church in Peaster. Unfortunately, I've got an event I've got to be during that time, and I can't come, but I would love to go, and I know you're going to have a great time. But doggone, if you're by the studio here, stop in and see me.
Hey, I'll sure do it, and we'll make sure Josh gets you one of those CDs, and you can play it at Western Swing Christmas.
You bet. I'll play it next week. We'll be playing that on the air here, and in fact, Josh is going to be on with me next week. That's it, but that's going to be a great event. Johnny, God bless you, and look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, Joe. Thank you, buddy.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Johnny Cox, I'll tell you what, that guy, one of the greatest steel players in the country. There's no doubt about that, for sure.